kenianische Grüne Jugend haben wir beschlossen, dieses Projekt durchzuführen, das Bewusstsein über den Zustand unserer Stadt zu stärken
und Lösungen für die Umweltzerstörung zu finden.
Die meisten Leute denken, Nairobi ist eine wirklich großartige Stadt mit großen Plastiken, Gebäuden und vielen Autos, aber genau die schaden uns und verschmutzen unsere Luft.
Öffentliches Land wird von Regierungsmitarbeitern privat verkauft, anstatt mehr Parks zu schaffen.
Wie können wir also eine Stadt kreieren, in der wir gesünder leben können?
In diesem Film suchen wir nach den Antworten.
My opinion of congestion in town, now I can say this is a work of county government because they can know what to do so that they can try to minimize this congestion in town. The vision is to minimize the loitering people who are in this town by making them to get a job.
Totally it's the government's fault in a kind of way because the cars, they should like minimize the cars and minimize so much movement. They can minimize it by creating pavements for some people to pass, and the roads they should have some traffic police so they can guide the cars on how to go. The parks should be cleaned and the waste around the city should be cleaned too.
There are lots of responsibilities that the government has. One, it regulates the use of the environment in a way, but in the end, it's actually people also, because it is you and I who dump waste in the environment. It is you and I who build on riparian reserves, who damage the ecological corridors, who damage the water towers, who bring down urban forests, where they exist. And of course, it is the people who also destroy parks. We try to encourage planned communities balanced with nature, so we also advocate for planning and design with nature in mind. We try to change how policies are made in cities. We've had tremendous gains in changing how governments work, how they do their normal day-to-day planning, how they integrate nature in the cities, how they integrate public spaces in the cities, how they promote participation, public participation. There are lots of challenges when you come to awareness. People still do not know so much about public space or quality of life in the city and what they can do.
Unfortunately, the issue of public spaces and importance of having quality public spaces is still quite new. So for now it's not really a priority of governments, not even really of some big foundations and so on. So there's still quite a lot of work to be done in terms of raising awareness about why it is important to keep improving public spaces, why it should be set as a priority, because it affects health of people, safety, it affects child enabling environments with child development as well, economic development even, and so on. The first biggest challenge is the funding, but that's also why kind of our approach to transforming public spaces is very low cost. So you can just you work with local communities that's kind of lead the transformation. They come up with their ideas, they use locally available material.
MSRC is the organization that stands for especially cleaning the community and reclaiming all the public spaces that were dirty and making them clean and making them usable for the kids in the community. Here is where it all started, at the mustard seed court. This is the first court where we started as a model court to show the entire Dandora it's possible. Welcome, I show you through. We did the gate and enhanced the security of the place, and also to name the place the mustard seed court. The smallest streets, the smallest seed, hoping to be one of the biggest and greatest trees around our society. Today it is. I'll prove to you why. Welcome. Before we started this project, this was a World Bank project. The county government stopped cleaning as our community. That drainage was completely lost and forgotten. Our first project was to dig up this drainage. We came up to levelize this place clean the entire place. This is where you can put your litter. There is somebody who comes every week. Every week there is somebody who comes and clean and empties the litter bin. So that makes the court clean every day and always. There's a space that used to be a dump spot also, a small dump spot that nobody will mind. Anybody will dump here, anybody will litter their litter here, and nobody will be minded. I was the first to say it's enough and to create the space for the children. People thought I was grabbing the space, but eventually it turned out to be one of the only space around that we put up the swings for our kids, where they can play, they can come from all over Dandora and come and enjoy here. So this court is always lit up every night. Security is 100% perfect nowadays. So you can see this was one space that was a dump site for ages. Since 1984, no county government came to sweep or clean this space. Until 2013, when I said this is enough, I came up with this initiative, called 33 people here and sold the idea to tell them this is the place we want to transform and make it look a very nice place. And guys were like, no, this is not serious. But eventually we came, transformed it, made it look a garden, a very beautiful garden, whereby it was the first, and that made people believe. After hard labor, like 3 months of intense work and hard labor, we did here 3 guys with no salary, with no money, sometimes going without food, sometimes even going to bed totally without eating even anything the whole day. And still we had the spirits and guts to wake up in the morning and continue. Looking back those years, those time and the pains, the blisters, the sweats we went through, today we look and say it's worth it. Looking around how things have turned out, we are happy. We transformed this, and then somebody came and wanted to grab this space since it's a huge space. We stopped it. I told the county government we can transform this is an open space and it needs to look nice. The county government told us transform this place as you transformed it like this. So we transformed it. Now we have a trampoline. It has stayed there since last year. People used to say if you put this thing here, you cannot spend a night here. People will steal it. It has been there since last year. Nobody has touched it. Showing people have matured. People are saying this is for our kids. It's not for Charles. It's for the kids of the community. The huge reactions were not even this place cannot be transformed. The huge problem was all the youth before us. If they touch a space like this, the next thing you'll see is a rich guy there building a tall building there. So they just sell us the space for just little amount of money to a rich guy, and that guy will come develop that place, and you lose all the. Through that system, we've lost so many public spaces. And in 2013, we started very small, just 3 guys, and today we are more than 3,000, 5,000 youths just in Dandora. In Nairobi wide, we are more than 10,000. I'm proud to say that through this project, we have won some awards. Dubai International Award that we won in 2018. We traveled to Dubai and got an award as the best practice worldwide at transforming communities. This year, in January, we also were lucky to travel to make sure our friend traveled to represent Dandora in South Africa. The guy who traveled is one guy who used to be a criminal in the community. Today is a transformed youth leader. So far, we can see through his life, the life of something like him, what transformation can do to somebody like him. Today is one of the best disciples DTL ever had or will ever have, showing and leading most of the youths from darkness to the light.
So, welcome. So this is Believers. This used to be a dump site before we started transformation. So we decided to transform this place to be a community garden where at least someone can come, rest, read some books, So, and also if you find out that most of the things that we have used here as materials are things that we have just taken from the dump site, because you'll find that like our chair is made of tiles. So instead of this tile being an hazard to the environment, at least we use it in a different way, in a positive way, to make a chair. We have doves inside here, we have tortoise inside here, we have fish inside here. So we try to bring nature back to the community. So that is the main aim of us transforming this space. So when we started, we normally say that we transform spaces and we transform the mindset. Most of the trees that are there here are fruit trees, because we want that the next generation, maybe if you come here to see it, at least you eat some fruit. If you come around here, you see that this chair is made up of drum, but at least now you see it's a chair. Instead of us going to throw them away, it is something that we can use in a positive way to become a chair. This one is the out of a computer. Here it's also that the backward of a television, the old television. So instead of us throwing it into an environment, we are trying to make use of them so that at least they can act as a flower pot for this. So this is the kind of transformation that we are doing. If you go around, that is a briefcase. Instead of us throwing a briefcase, we are trying to show the world that instead of just throwing a briefcase, we can use it in a positive way. When you see this boot, this was my first boots when I started the transformation of this place. So instead of us throwing it away, at least we are making using it to act as a flower pot.
Kupata nguvu na energy ya kukimbia.
Unajua kama clean environment, at least tunaweza fanya kazi ya peace. So tunapeana peace na at least market inaanza kuwa.
Mimi naweza sema kama mimi imenisaidia sana. Juu kitambo ulikuwa unapata kulikuwa uchafu mingi na watoto. So unapata ile mtoto anakuja kucheza huku nje atagonjeka. Sasa tangu hizo mambo zifanye za kubadilisha. Sasa hizo unapata watoto wako sawa, wanacheza vizuri. Alafu bado security imekuwa poa. Sisi kama watu wazima pia unapata kuna mahali kwingi tunatulia. Kwa sasa hizi naweza sema kuko poa kwa sababu wengi siku hizi wamepata kazi za kufanya. Hao vijana sasa wenyewe yuko hiyo kazi, wamepata shughuli twingine wenyewe, wamejichanua, yani wameona ni vizuri kudevelop vitu mingi. So wamepata other businesses wanaweza fanya.
So this is one of the spaces that we have just started transforming. So this is also going to be a beautiful garden for the community that are living in this area.
At least tutakuwa tunainuana ki gardens ndio. Then pia hii garden pia kuna venye inatusaidia either tuseme wageni wetu, watoto kucheza na vitu kadhaa tunaweza fanya.
This was also one of the more like a big dump site. From here to where my guys are there. There.
The dump that was here, where did you take it?
We moved most of it with lorries to the Dandora dump site itself. And now we started levelizing the place. We want to put up a very beautiful garden here. This is now the second week we are here. They put 20 hand carts of soil, each team 20. They break for the day. We meet tomorrow again. Yeah, 20,000 every month. Per person. The county governor has taken note of us, and last year in December, he employed 300 youths from DTL initiative. Now all over you go, even Kayole, Madare, Kibra, you'll find the youth are doing the same thing in a very creative and innovative manner. You see, if you use the initiative DTL is using, the residents are paying for their own upkeep of cleanness because they are the ones who are justifying the community. It's not Governor Sonko or the president, it's us. Let us be responsible. Let us pay that small fee, and the youth of Nairobi we can create more than 100 jobs to the youth of Nairobi through this initiative. And we can create more than 1 million jobs in the country through this initiative.
We can't really kind of advance as fast as we would like to, mostly because of the lack of funding. So that's the biggest challenge, I would say, right now. And the second sometimes is a little bit also general lack of awareness, and which leads to lack of collaboration from some key stakeholders, such as public authorities, government, that instead of sometimes supporting automatically the groups, sometimes they may try to discourage them from the work or try to prevent the work until they understand why this work is important.
In Nairobi, there is so much that we can do. One, we can reimagine the river system. We can imagine the river system as an ecological network, a network of connectivity, a network where we have bike lanes, for example, or walkways. I see a city that is greener than it has been, more options for moving around the city. If we invest in cycling in the city, more inclusive transport systems, a true public transport system, be a healthy city, a city with the good air to breathe.
Als junge Generation wollen wir das Bewusstsein dafür schaffen, dass wir unsere Städte sauberer, grüner und menschenfreundlicher gestalten sollen.
Wir sollten öffentliche Räume zurückerobern, um Grünflächen zu schaffen, damit wir mehr Biodiversität, saubere Luft und eine bessere Lebensqualität haben.
Dies würde auch zu einer besseren Gesundheit und Gemeinschaft der Stadtbevölkerung führen. Wir sollten Bäume pflanzen, um die Temperatur in der Stadt zu senken und Überschwemmungen zu reduzieren.
Die Nutzung öffentlicher Verkehrsmittel sollte verstärkt werden, um die Zahl der Autos zu verringern und Fußgängern Platz zu schaffen.
Die Menschen sollten selbst motiviert sein und Verantwortung für Verantwortung übernehmen. Die Regierung sollte dabei helfen.
Eine solche Veränderung würde zu mehr Sicherheit in der Stadt und mehr Arbeitsmöglichkeiten führen.
Lass es uns versuchen, der Wandel beginnt mit uns.